Peace to everyone. I'm diving into one of the most powerful, influential, and frankly, intense figures in the Bible, Isaiah the prophet. If you've ever heard phrases like, holy, 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 or the suffering servant, you've been touched by his work. Isaiah's ministry wasn't just a side gig. He was a statesman, a counselor to kings, operating in Jerusalem during the most volatile period in Israel's history, the 8th century BC. His book, 66 chapters long, is a miniature Bible in itself, covering creation, law, sin, redemption, and a new heaven and earth. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll explore three main areas: his call and context, his core message of judgment and redemption, and his incredible messianic prophecies that changed the world. Let's dive in. The kingdom of Judah, the southern kingdom, was surrounded by superpowers. The aggressive Assyrian Empire was dominating the region. Isaiah served under 4 different kings: Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah. He wasn't just predicting the future. He was actively telling kings how to handle foreign policy. Trust in God, not in alliances with Egypt or Assyria. While the temple was running, there was deep-seated social injustice. Isaiah blasts the wealthy elite for their greed. He says their religious festivals are meaningless because their hands are full of blood from oppressing the poor. Isaiah 1:15 summarizes it. When you spread out your hands in prayer, I will hide my eyes from you. The defining moment, Isaiah's call, chapter 6. This is the moment everything changes. In the year that King Uzziah died, Isaiah has a terrifying vision in the temple. He sees God seated on a throne with 6-winged angels called seraphim shouting, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory." Isaiah is overwhelmed by his own sinfulness. He cries, "Woe is me, for I am undone." An angel touches his lips with a burning coal, atoning for his sin. He is purified, and when God asks, "Whom shall I send?" Isaiah famously replies, "Here am I, send me." This vision of God's overwhelming holiness and Isaiah's purification fuels his entire 40-year ministry. Isaiah's message is a cycle. Sin leads to judgment, but judgment is not the end. It prepares the way for redemption. This is the structure of the whole book. Chapters 1 to 39 focus heavily on judgment, on Judah, Jerusalem, and the surrounding nations. Judgment, the invasion. Isaiah warns King Ahaz and the people that because of their faithlessness, God will use Assyria as a tool of discipline. This comes to a head with the infamous siege of Jerusalem by the Assyrian king Sennacherib in 701 BC. During this crisis, King Hezekiah finally prays and trusts God, and miraculously, Jerusalem is delivered without a battle. But the final judgment, exile to Babylon, is still prophesied for the next generation. The pivot, the message of comfort, chapters 40 to 66. The tone completely changes. After chapter 39, the scene leaps 150 years into the future. The people are now in exile in Babylon. Chapters 40 and beyond open with the words, "Comfort, comfort my people, says your God." Isaiah speaks of a second Exodus where God will bring them home. This section is all about hope, light, and restoration. The doctrine of the remnant. Even amidst judgment, Isaiah holds on to the hope of a remnant, a small group who remain faithful. They are the core through which God will rebuild his nation. He uses the metaphor of a tree that is cut down, but a stump remains. and from that stump, a new shoot will spring forth. This is the ultimate promise of restoration after devastation. For most scholars, the core reason Isaiah is so famous is his staggering and detailed prophecies about the coming Messiah. He describes the Messiah's identity and his role. The virgin birth. The young woman will conceive and give birth to a son and will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. The mighty king. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. He will be a descendant of King David, and he will rule the world in perfect justice and peace. The four servant songs. This is where Isaiah's prophecy gets its deepest theological power. The servant figure is introduced, who sometimes seems to represent Israel, but ultimately points to a specific individual who will save them. He will be rejected. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us. He will suffer for others. He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. He will be silent in his suffering. Like a lamb led to the slaughter, he did not open his mouth. This concept of a royal Messiah who must first be a suffering servant was completely revolutionary. Isaiah doesn't end with the return from Babylon. He looks forward to the ultimate final restoration. The final vision is of a new Jerusalem and a new heaven and a new earth where there is eternal peace. God's work through the Messiah leads to the recreation of everything. The legacy of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah is quoted more than any other prophet in the New Testament. Early Christians saw Jesus as the ultimate fulfillment of every single one of these prophecies. The call to action. Isaiah's message for us today is twofold. 1. The same call for social justice against greed and oppression remains vital. The ultimate call is to see God's holiness and respond like Isaiah with a purified heart. Here am I, send me. Isaiah is the prophet of trust. He tells the kings of Judah to trust God over political maneuvering. He tells the exiles in Babylon to trust God's promise of return. And he gives us a profound message of a Messiah who we can trust for our ultimate redemption. Thank you for joining this deep dive. Which part of Isaiah's prophecy inspires you most? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more biblical deep dives. It is all about Jesus.